going on, guys? You're probably thinking like, where the heck has this guy been? I'm gonna explain a little bit. Also today we're gonna be doing some field work in the field. I have a tournament coming up this weekend. I'm also gonna give you guys a look at my bag and what I'm gonna be bagging for the start of this season. My bag is probably gonna change throughout the season, but I'm gonna show you what I'm starting out with at least. We're gonna toss in the field. I'm working on a bunch of different things. Consistency is the main one across the board. YouTube, my play. We're gonna get into it a little bit. So let's get to the course, I guess. So perfect example and a good segue of what I'm gonna talk about, or start talking about. See, right there, I'm missing like the part that connects my camera to my tripod here. So I'm using like this baby handheld tripod. That's why you're like so punching right now. But here, let me get back up so you can, so it's a little less awkward. Sorry if it's windy, I forgot the dead cat. See if I can cover it up a little bit to avoid the wind. Like I said, no more excuses. I want to come out here and start making videos consistently and regularly. You heard me talk about in the beginning that consistency is a big issue for me right now, and both in terms of my channel, as you probably know, it's been like 2 weeks since I've uploaded, and also in like my play, which is one of the reasons I'm coming out here and doing some field work. I get to do an in the bag video, and also I can kind of just get some discs out there, keep working on my form. Right now I'm really trying to work on consistency in my form and like simplifying my form, because I know I'm losing a lot of distance right now whenever I'm doing like way too much in my run up and before my throw, and even in my follow through. I'm just like doing too much, it seems like. But then I have those throws that I can throw like 350 and it feels like I'm barely throwing it at all. I can throw like 350 pretty consistently, 400 on a good day. But I want to be able to throw 350 where it's like, I know I'm gonna throw 350 this shot no matter what. Like I don't have to question whether or not the shot's gonna go 350 feet. And so that's why I'm really trying to work on my smoothness and kind of simplifying everything. And also, it's a pretty good excuse to do an in the bag video. This is the bag that I'm gonna start the season off with. Of course, if you've seen if you watch my channel, my bag battle series has been one of my more successful series on my channel. It's where I throw like 4 different discs in each slot, and then whoever wins the round, that's the disc I bag. That series, I don't want it to go away, but with the way I want the channel to go, I'm gonna have to switch that up a little bit probably. One of the big reasons I think there's a consistency issue on my channel is just because there's a lack of videos that like, I'm proud of, I guess. Because I can do disc review videos all day, but like it's so saturated. All the videos I'm currently making are very saturated. And so I feel like I need to switch it up a bit. And the new direction that I have, I'm actually really excited for. It's been kind of where I wanted my channel to go like the whole time. It's just I guess I probably wasn't confident enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to attempt to be a professional disc golfer. Spoiler, that's what I'm going to be doing. I know, like Badanza, Jay Milley, all these other guys, they're attempting to go pro. And I think a big issue for me with like the whole YouTube channel thing is that I genuinely do love making disc golf videos, and I genuinely love playing the game. I think that right now a bunch of like the content creators are getting a lot of flack because I see like comments and I see like feedback all the time about that, like just play the game, why are you making videos, like disc golf YouTubers are like cringy and all this. But there are some of us who aren't just trying to like benefit off the sport. There's some of us that really just enjoy making videos and really enjoy playing the game and like documenting it, and we see that it's worked out for people like Anthony and other professionals that have YouTube channels too. And that's like the dream, you know. That's where I want to be. That's what I'm trying to attempt to get to. And I think that in order to do that, I am going to have to attempt to be a professional, at least in some sense of the word, a professional, because there's a lot of terms for professionals. A touring pro, you know, there's like these local professional guys. And it's all going to tie in with like things that are going on in my life too, because right now big changes are that my fiance and I are going to get married next month. It's actually our dating anniversary today. After I record this video, I'm going to go and get her some flowers, and then in a couple months she got into medical school, so I'm going to be moving, and I'm going to have to figure out how the heck I'm going to support me and my wife that is going to be in medical school. And right now I'm making disc golf videos, and it's like I have to do something more than that. Also, I am doing something more than that. On the side, I do websites and I run social media for some other companies. If you have a disc golf company and you want me to help out with like running your social media, or you need a website built, or maybe you're not a disc golf person and you want to help support me in that way, that's also a way you can definitely help support me, especially with how my life's gonna be going through the future. And also, that being said, it's gonna be hard for me to upload as consistently as I was in like the first 6 months. The first 6 months of my channel, I was going really hard, just trying to get as much subscribers and trying to get as much of like a viewership base as I could in like a short amount of time, because I had like a big boy job, right? And then whenever that kind of fell through for all the reasons, you know, COVID, and then the company didn't know how to operate anyway, because of a bunch of different reasons, I found myself not having anything to do. And so then I started a video production company and a marketing company. That kind of fell through. Both of me and the other person I was working with were kind of in the same spot in life. We're trying to figure things out, and it was kind of hard to like link up and mesh that together to make a solid thing. We did make a few commercials, and that was really fun for the time being. It was a good time. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I love playing disc golf. I know I can make good videos and good content. I've been doing that for like these businesses, and I think when I was doing the rush of trying to get all these subscribers and trying to get this viewership base, that all the other things kind of fell to the wayside. My quality that I know that I could hit and that I'm proud of kind of dropped, because I had to like worry about putting out certain many videos all the time. And then that, whenever I'm not releasing like a perfect thing or something that is less than my best, it kind of affects me, and I know that it's not the best, and it kind of brings me down a little bit, just like on the content side of things. And that affects just like my whole life, because what else do I really do besides make disc golf videos right now? Back then, now like I said, I do the websites and all that now. But so the direction of the channel is kind of gonna be me attempting to be a professional, whether that's local, touring pro, what have you. That's gonna open up even more like veins of content for me. Like, I'm gonna be able to show you how I'm practicing, how I'm improving. I'm gonna do like tournament vlogs. When I play a tournament, not this first tournament, the very first tournament that I'm playing here this weekend, it's at like the Trophy Club Community Club in Trophy Club, Texas. I'm really excited about it this weekend. I've been practicing for it, and I'm feeling really good about going into it, honestly. But I wanna see how good I do initially. Don't worry, you'll hear about the tournament. I probably won't record myself actually playing the tournament, but I'm definitely gonna be talking all about the tournament, what I need to improve from that tournament, and it's kind of gonna be a good baseline for me. This first tournament is gonna be a good baseline for me to kind of understand where I need to be in terms of my play, what I need to work on. You can just build on that and build on that and build on that. And my thinking is that with all these other videos, like I said, they're oversaturated, but something that can't be taken away from me is like my personal experience, my personal growth in the sport. Nobody else can take that away from me. These two guys showed up with their dog. They don't know I'm gonna throw some frisbees here. Their dog starts shooting up my discs. I am going to be so mad, especially because these ones I'm starting to bag. Anyway, we'll get right into the in the bag. All right, to finish it off, I know I've made videos like this talking about direction of my channel, but now I really feel like I have something solid. I really feel like this is solid, something that can't be taken away from me, and I'm really excited about it. With that being said, let's get into my bag for the 2024 season, or at least the very start of the 2024 season. Like I said, I'm gonna have to rework the bag battle series, because right now, the current format where I play with 4 discs and whatever one happens to win is what goes in my bag. It's kind of fluky for me right now, especially because I want to perform at my very best. So I want the very best disc, not whatever disc is gonna perform best in one round, you know. The one I'm most confident in is the one I'm gonna be bagging. So I'm gonna have to change up the formula for bag battle, but bag battle is coming back. We will start with my putters, my putting putters. Right now I have a Clash Disc butter in here. I did have 2 P2s in here, but really I'm only putting with this double stamp Koi Fish P2. It's just like a perfect stability, perfectly obedient for putting for me right now. And also my butter. I have a butter in here. I was like kind of toying with it, deciding if I wanted to bag it. It is a great putting putter. It's just I'm so used to P2s that I really can't switch up right now. I really don't feel like it. P2s are just the most consistent for me right now, and I don't think they'll ever leave my bag unless something really crazy comes out for a putting putter. Now we'll talk about throwing putters and approach discs. I have some new additions here. One of them is going to surprise you, especially if you've been watching my videos. But we'll go from flippy to like the most overstable. The first one I have is this Clash Discs Peach, the Sound Disc Golf. It came in their mystery box, the wooden one. It was really cool. I started throwing this thing, and I have been recently really liking stable putters, like pretty straight point and shoot throwing putters. That's exactly what the Peach is for me, especially in this, I don't know what this plastic is, if we're gonna be honest. I'm gonna guess steady, but I don't know. I'll put it up here. I'll put it up here though. This disc is super awesome. It's very controllable. I've been loving it for like low power spin shots in the woods. It holds pretty much every line that I put it on. if I throw it on some ante, it's gonna, in like a wood shot, and I really put it on low power, it can hold that all the way with a pan, and it's almost no effort with the peach. As long as you have that spin, it's very low effort to get the peach where you want it to go. I've been working this one in and out with my Discmania Tactic. My Discmania Tactic is the one that I'm bagging currently going into this tournament, just because it kind of fits some of the holes more. I found that I wasn't really reaching for my ironstone. The ironstone is the current P3X by Discmania that I'm bagging. I love this P3X, first of all. It's probably one of the only courses I'm gonna play around here, at least, where I'm gonna opt out of the P3X. But the P3X is a super, like, if I'm gonna throw like wide open, like 300 foot and down shot, or maybe like a slight hyzer, like around 250, 275, I'm probably gonna throw this P3X. I can rip on it, I can put a lot of torque into it, and I know it's not gonna turn over, but it also has a very stable flight at the high power. And of course, the always reliable fade. Actually, the Discmania Tactic has been in my bag. The next one is the one I worked in just for this tournament. This is usually my most overstable approach disc that I bag. It's, right now I have this also double stamp koi fish soft Tactic. I kind of move tactics in and out. I usually always have a Tactic in my bag, whether it's Neo. My first ace ever was at the Neo Tactic, but I've kind of been working some different ones in and out. I found the soft Tactic is actually more on the overstable side compared to some of the other plastics. Neo, it kind of flies similar to Neo, I guess. There's not like a huge difference, at least that I found, and I've thrown these a lot. I don't really throw these on sidearm. I don't throw a lot of sidearm at all. But if I want like a straight sidearm, like low, like I have to throw my sidearms like approaches like within 150 feet. And this is just fine for that. I know where it's gonna go. And for this tournament I'm playing, I threw a zone in my bag. You guys know that I talk some crap on the zone. For my game, I just don't think it works. It's super reliable. The reason I'm putting it in my bag is because on Friday I'm playing on a flex before a B tier. From the short positions, I was pretty much just throwing putters for a majority of the holes. And usually with my putters, I'll throw just a straight hyzer, straight like anhyzer, like maybe panning anhyzer. But this course is calling for a lot of like flex shots, like full right to left flexes. And so that's why I put the zone here. It just has a lot more bite, and I can put some anhyzer on it, and I know that the end of the flight is going to finish left for sure. So that's why I have the zone in there, and those are my putters. We'll go into the mids. Right here, these are my two most used mids. Together, these two mids, I probably throw like 90% of the time. It's my Horizon MD1. This has been like the straightest run of MD1 that I've thrown. At this point now, it's slightly flippy. I kind of need a new MD1. However, this is the Eagle McMahon Iron Samurai 4. This is the MD3 that I'm bagging right now. I also, sometimes in my videos, you might see me throw like a murdered out black one. I like that one too. But this is just definitely more finish. I can torque up on it a lot more. If I really rip into it, it's pretty much just a straight flight. But if I'm throwing like the normal consistent, like 80% power, it's pretty straight with I know it's gonna fade. The second disc that was in like this pouch right here is a new one to the bag that I put in, and when I heard it was coming out, I was super excited for it. And now that I have it, it literally fits in between this MD1 and this Iron Samurai 3. So I'm kind of deciding whether or not I am going to get a new MD1 right now, because this lineup is exactly what I want. I have like a flippier MD, then I have like my straightest MD, was the one I'm gonna show you now. And then I have that Iron Samurai 4. The new addition is the Flex 1 Color Glow MD3. The Flex 1 plastic, whenever I got it in the FD3 in the mystery box, the Doomstone, it flew a lot straighter than any plastic from them that I've thrown so far. So I was really excited about this one. What I like about it is that I can torque up on it, and even about like 80% power, I'm not worried about it turning over. I can throw it flat, and it pretty much just goes straight with like the tiniest bit of fade, like the tiniest bit of like finish to the left. If you guys haven't tried out the Flex 1 plastic yet, in the FD3 or like the MD3, you really need to try it out. It's something new that they're doing. It's a new plastic they have, and it's one of my favorites already. Oh, also, watt. I bag a watt too. This is kind of for, I don't know, more funsies. I'm actually very confident with the watt when there's no wind, but sadly, I live in Texas, so it's windy all the time. I really get to throw this thing. I'm bagging an EMAC Truth. I actually picked this one up in Colorado when I was just doing some, like, me and Pops went to Colorado for like a family thing, and then we just picked up some 3 discs and played around while we were up there because we didn't bring any. And when I was throwing it, I really loved how consistently I could throw this flat. And it didn't give me as much fade as I was wanting, but it was very predictable. Like, it's not very bitey, it's like I can throw it flat and it kind of drifts to the left. And that is a super, that's a mid that I was missing for a long time. And then my two most overstable mids, I'm bagging the Guava right now. This is honestly, after I've been throwing it, if I power up on it, it's pretty much a little bit more overstable than the Truth. But if I'm not powering up on it as much, it definitely has a lot more finish and it's a little bit more predictable. And the Justice is for those like scramble, like chop forehands in the woods for me right now. I rarely throw this thing on backhand. I really need to throw this thing on backhand because I can just, just put hyzer on it. My backhand is pretty good compared to my sidearm. This is like kind of a sidearm saver for me because my sidearm stinks. And so when I need a scramble shot, this is great for chop forehands for me. And then we'll get into fairway drivers. So I actually have two of my fairway drivers here. I'm gonna give you the honorable mentions that I need to pick up soon. Like I said, no excuses. I need to make the video, but I am missing two of the fairway drivers that I normally bag. I have an FD. This is a G-Line FD. This is the longest FD I've had. This one is definitely a flippy FD. And I love it. I love how beat-in it is. I love the gumminess of it. G-Line X-Out FD is old Innova made one. You can't really find these. These are really tough to find. I've tried to look for these before. Tough to get your hands on, and I see why, because I love this thing. The PD, you can debate whether it's a fairway driver. I remember back in Old Discmania, everyone regarded it as a fairway driver. Lots of the pros called it a fairway driver. It's a power driver. It's one of those in-betweeners. I'm gonna say it's a fairway driver. It kind of fills that slot for me. It's my really throw it hard and reliable straight to fade. It's not super bitey when I throw it hard and up to speed. But I know where it's gonna go 100% of the time. These are for like the big wide hyzers, like the big wide flat to kind of pan left, like kind of panning fade left, like the slow fade left. And then also a bag of FD1 that, like I said, I'm missing right now. And I also bag a CD1, which I didn't think I lost. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around here. I better find it before tomorrow. We're gonna talk about all the distance drivers that I have and why I probably bag way too many. My bag is gonna be ever evolving, okay? This is just what I have going into the season. I know my bag is going to look a lot different by the end of the season. This is kind of an update. What am I bagging right now going into the first event that I'm gonna play, We'll go roughly by stability. The flippiest distance driver I have is this Lux Vapor DD. It's the Doomstone. This one is super flippy, man. It is super fun to throw. Honestly, for a distance driver, great for like shaping your shots. And this has been teaching me that I need to work on my power control. And it's helped me a lot with my power control actually thus far. But always room for improvement, Next, I bag a Hades. This is for like when it's not super windy, I can rip on this thing flat and expect a solid turn most of the flight. If there's like a little bit of tailwind, give it some height, a little bit of anhyzer, and I know that thing's gonna keep turning the whole way and kind of finish flat. This is a really great disc. I really need to dial it in more. This is one that I don't throw a lot of because I like to manipulate my angles a lot. I don't have a lot of trust in my disc necessarily. That's something I gotta get better at. Water! I don't know if you can hear my throat closing up, man. A lot of talking, yapping out here. And then we'll go with this PAG Amateur World Champs Enigma. This is like, I bag a lot of destroyer type molds, mostly because it is one of my favorite type of molds. I feel like I can manipulate it very well. I can get the flight I want of them in the right plastic and certain molds. Like I bag like the Enigma, DD3, you'll see some of the other ones. I bag them all kind of to complement each other. They're all similar, but different, you know what I mean? And this one is like one of my flippiest of these molds. I think it is the flippiest of these molds. Yeah, it fits kind of similarly with my Zeus. These feel about the same slot. Very minor differences while I'll reach for one rather than the other. I like the hand feel of the Zeus a lot more. I think that the Enigma, at least this Enigma, has a little bit more late finish than my Zeus. So that's the little variance in that one. I'm gonna save one of these for last, but it's definitely not the most overstable. This is a new addition. This is the Ty Love Trespass. I got this in, I think, the Foundation mystery box, if you haven't checked out that video. I've been throwing this one around lately. In terms of like molds, I do not think that these flight numbers are right. I think this is more of like a 2-turn 3 fade. Like this is significantly more flippy than it should be, or at least that it's advertised. It's kind of similar with the two I just said. Like I said, I bag a lot of discs that are crossovers. That's why I need to work on making my bag solidified. That's why I'm making this video, I bag 3 DD3s. I bag an S-Line one. This S-line, this blue teal S-line one is super awesome. This thing, when I put it on hyzer, it will pop up and ride for days, but I know it's gonna finish. If I throw this thing flat, I know I'm going to get a good like right to left, always gonna finish left. And if I really rip on this thing with some height on Annie, this is the most, this is the distance driver I'm the most confident with whenever I have it in my hands. I've just thrown it the most, I have the most practice with it. I can manipulate the best when, say I want, see sometimes, like you said, this is probably flippier than my DD3. So, but if I want like a turnover shot and I'm just not feeling very confident, I'll just put this on a little more anhyzer and I can just trust this one more than most of the discs in my bag. I also have the C-line DD3. This one is kind of middle stability of my DD3s. At the end of the day, they're all overstable discs, you know. And then the most overstable DD3 that I've seen as of recent, Discmania made DD3s, is this Thunderstone. This Thunderstone is very overstable in terms of DD3s, at least that I've thrown. I'm bagging this one actually because I've been throwing, at the course I'm playing, I'm gonna throw a lot of Simon lines, like over the top lines, because I don't have a sidearm. And there's a lot of sidearms that, there's a lot of holes that call for like a straight, like beam-in sidearm that like skips. But I found a lot of routes where I can go over the top, but I have to throw a giant high flex. The only disc I can throw on these big high flexes that I know is gonna come and finish at the very end is going to be this Thunderstone in order to get the distance that I want. Because like I have a PD2 in here, but it's not gonna get the distance that I want because of how much more overstable it is than this Thunderstone. All right, I also have this Clash Vanilla. This is honestly probably this one that I have. Maybe it's a weird run. I found this to be dang near more overstable than all of my DD3s. It's close to the Thunderstone, I'm not gonna lie. My dad and I were kind of joking that some of the flight numbers Clash has are questionable. This is a great disc. I'm throwing this one, I forgot what hole. I think it's hole 11 at Trophy Club this week. And I've parked the mound at the bottom of the basket with it every time I've thrown this disc. It's not what the flight numbers advertise, but if you can dial this in, it is a great disc. It's very shapeable. It has overstable finish, but it's very shapeable. It's weird. Then the most overstable driver that I bag is the Skystone PD2. This thing is super beefy. I rarely throw this on backhand. Like I said, I'd rather throw like a Thunderstone on some hyzer than throw like a PD2 flat. I mostly bag this for sidearm. My sidearm is terrible, but if I'm like, there's no other choice in the dang world that I have to throw a sidearm right now, then I'm probably throwing the PD2. And then my last disc, definitely not least, stay tuned for a video because this disc, you've definitely seen videos on it so far and already, but this disc is changing the game right now. And this is one that I'm going to be bagging and I can't wait for more, probably more stable runs of this one. But this is the Clash Discs Tone Salt. The thing that's cool about this is that the rim is more dense than the rest of the disc. The flight plate and the rim are different plastics, kind of like the MVP gyro technology effect, except it's not like a separate plastic around the rim. It is, the whole rim is a different plastic, and it's more dense than the flight plate. You can tell when you're holding it that the flight plate is a lot thinner, and it's definitely lighter than the entirety of the rim, which adds a lot of spin, and it's super helpful to getting full flights from your disc, which I think is why this disc is a lot flippier than advertised. This is supposed to be like a destroyer type mold, 12, 5, -1, 3. But this thing is super flippy. I throw this thing flat. I beat it in a little bit, but when I first got it, I threw this thing flat. It was turning no matter what. Like I had no chance of it going straight if I was throwing it flat. I had to give it some hyzer for it to go straight. Most of the time I give it slight hyzer, it would pop up to flat and just go straight for like 7 years because the glide on this thing with how much spin you get from it, dude, it's crazy. I'm gonna do a whole video on it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me throw these. I hope you guys liked the insight into my bag and kind of what my direction is going to be for the channel and for my competitive season this year. I'm trying to go pro, whatever that means for me, whether it's a local pro, touring pro, we'll see with time. But right now, my goal by the end of the season is to get over 950, and I'm sitting right around 800. I've only played 4 events, and honestly, those 4 events were like at terrible times, and I played so bad. I did not prepare for them. That's not the disc golf that I want to play, and so I kind of feel like I tanked myself a little early on by playing those 4 events, because now I kind of have to work back from some of those to get my rank up. Lots of people say it's really hard to get your rating up 100 points in one season, and I have to do a little bit more than that. So I have a lot of work to do, and I hope you guys stick around with me. I know I can do it, and I hope you guys follow me around and maybe help me out along the way. But I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Okay guys, those are like 80% power. Like I said, I've kind of been simplifying my form and trying to make it more, you know, simple so I can make it smooth. And my gosh, those are like 100% shots for me. I was throwing from my bag over there. So I'm gonna pull out U-disc, and I know I don't have a rangefinder, it's just U-disc, but I really am curious to see how far those were for the low effort and for the headwind. I was throwing into a headwind too. Currently walking it out. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. What I'm talking about, I can just take a screenshot. My Zeus went the farthest. I was throwing 80% power into headwind, and my farthest shot was like 350. And if I can throw like 350 with like my distance drivers, throwing like a baby, then I'll be very happy. If you can throw like 350 consistently like that, and if I really power up, I know I can get 400, maybe a little bit more, and I'm very happy with that. This is a great fieldwork day.